Craig asks a very good question. Craig asks, will my account with the IRS website show what tax years I need to file? The answer to that question, Craig, is no. The IRS is not going to tell you what years you need to file. They will tell you what years you are missing returns for. And there's a distinction here between what returns you actually need to file and the returns that you have not filed, the returns that are missing in the eyes of the IRS. Now, for some folks, those two things may be the same. For other folks, the population of returns that you have not filed may be larger than the population of returns that you actually need to file. It's the same thing if you were to call up the IRS and you were to ask them, what years do I need to file? Well, they'll tell you, you're missing this year, this year, this year, this year, this year, this year, that year. Okay. Now, if you go and file all those years and you owe for all those years, you're going to be assessed the taxes, penalties, and interest for all those years. But here's the thing, Craig. The IRS says that if you are in compliance with the last 6 years of tax returns to the extent you had a filing requirement for those 6 years, then the IRS considers you in general in compliance with your tax filing obligations. Now, they can request that you file returns previous to those 6 years. We see it happen sometimes with a revenue officer, and the revenue officer discuss with his or her manager, hey, can we go beyond the 6-year filing period here for this taxpayer? It does happen. But as a matter of course, and I've talked about this in other videos, the IRS is not going to pursue nor require that you file delinquent returns beyond 6 years. So right now, it's 2024, right? That 6-year period is 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, and 23. Okay? That being said, this is simply the current IRS policy. Policy statement 5-133. I've shown it. I put it up on the screen in other videos. This is IRS policy that could change in the future. The risk here, Craig, let's say you haven't filed the last 10 years of returns. And let's say you only do the past 6 because you only want to deal with the last 6 years of tax debt, not the last 10. And the IRS will be willing to work with you on those 6 years, get you in a payment plan, offering compromise, CNC status, whatever it may be. Now, the risk, Craig, what about those older years? Can the IRS at some point go back and demand or prepare an assessment for you for those years? And the answer is legally yes. Okay. However, because it is the IRS's policy not to, at least at this point in time, they don't. Okay. But because you never filed those older years' returns, the IRS's statute of limitations on assessment never starts running. And so theoretically, 20 years from now, let's say there are a bunch of bots running the IRS and a bunch of AI stuff, and they can very easily go back and prepare SFRs. SFRs are when the IRS prepares a return for you for a given year. Link to my video on SFRs at the top of the screen. I suppose, and let's say they get rid of this policy statement, 5-133, the 6-year thing. I suppose it's theoretically possible that, this could nip you in the bud years from now. Right, because they're going to tack on penalties in 20 years, whatever, worth of interest. Okay, but at this point in time, Craig, only the last 6 years. Will the IRS website tell you that? No. So that's why I honed in on your phrase, what tax years I need to file, what tax years you need to file. The IRS may tell you you're missing years, but you may not actually need to file all those years. And there's a strategy, too, when it comes to filing back tax returns. Okay, I've gotten more in depth on this in my comprehensive video, How to File Back Taxes. Link to that video up here at the upper left-hand corner of your screen, and my playlist on all unfiled tax return videos on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you want professional assistance with this, reach out to us at Choice Tax Relief, 866-8000-TAX. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.